Thank you so much. Madame Rajavi, friends, it is an incredible honor to be with you today. This afternoon, I stand in front of you and I say I am so pleased to stand with you in solidarity with the Iranian resistance and in solidarity with the Iranian people. Well, friends, the great struggle of our generation is fighting international terrorism, and Iran is the largest state sponsor of terrorism in the world, and we must stand up strongly against it. Canadians, like all of us here today, they reject the agenda of the mullahs, of the Supreme Leader, of Rouhani, and of the IRGC. Like the resistance and the Iranian people, we in Canada yearn for a stable, for a peaceful, and for a prosperous Iran and the Middle East. Canadians have three big concerns with the regime in Tehran. Its nuclear program, sucking resources away from the people, from healthcare and education. Its sponsorship and material support for terrorism, not just in the Gulf and in the Middle East, but around the world. And finally, its abysmal human rights record, and despite the rhetoric and public relations machine of Rouhani, it is not improving. In fact, it is getting worse since President Rouhani took office, and we must be very clear and have that voice heard around the world. We know the difference between the people of Iran and the regime in Tehran. The people of Iran do not support any three of these policies. Canada, I'm proud to say, has taken the hardest line in the world when it comes to Iran and its regime. We've closed our embassy in Tehran. We've kicked out the mouthpieces of the regime in Canada. We've designated not just the IRGC, but the entire apparatus in Tehran, the entire state of Iran, as a state sponsor of terrorism. And despite the joke of that nuclear deal, we maintain all of our sanctions on those in Tehran who are abusing the human rights of the Iranian people. The people, friends, the people of Iran don't support this regime. They want this regime to go. They yearn and are demanding freedom and regime change. And the time has come for regime change, friends. The time has also come for accountability. The time has also come for justice. Justice for the almost 30,000 political prisoners executed in 1988 by this regime. I find it, like each and every one of you, outrageous and completely unacceptable that the current Minister of Justice in Tehran has blood on his hands from 1988. And friends, there will be a day of reckoning. There will be a day of accountability for him. A new government in Iran can play a big role in the region and an even bigger role in the world. The regime's meddling and interference in just about every single country in the region wreaks death and destruction. Rouhani's material military support for Assad in Syria has contributed to the greatest humanitarian crisis since World War II. His support for the Houthi rebels in Yemen is disgraceful. His arming of Hezbollah in South Lebanon is outrageous. The civilized world, all of us, should understand one thing, that the people of Iran desperately, eagerly want change, and they are going to get it with our support soon. And friends, I believe in capitalism, I believe in trade, I believe in open markets, and I believe in commerce. But let me tell you, the people of Iran, they will remember who stood with them in these dark days, and we should deliver a clear message that it's not all about the almighty dollar. There is a better way. We must support all of those in Iran who share our values and share our interests. We must support all of those in the resistance who share those values. And let's be clear, there is an alternative to this brutal regime. There is a movement with deep roots in Iran. There is a movement that supports freedom, that supports the equality of men and women, that supports religious freedom and pluralism. There is a movement that is a force for change that is ready to bring about regime change throughout Iran. And friends, and that movement is led by an extraordinary leader. That movement is led by an extraordinary woman. The civilized world must support and work with Madam Rajavi to make sure we get and deliver change for the Iranian people. Thank you so much. Merci beaucoup.